Welcome to the channel. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Now join me on today's video where I will be comparing two watches that I didn't think I'd be comparing. So I have the SD1970 to my right and the SD1977. Now the watches that they are homaging on my right is of course the Captain Willett, the 61058-110, and the 1977 is homaging the 61058-8000. So this was the predecessor to this watch. And yeah, interestingly enough, quite a few people requested a comparison. A couple of people said they don't know the difference between the two, which I thought was kind of strange because I think, as you can see here, the case is very different. But regardless of that, I'm still going to give you guys a comparison because you guys requested it. So on wrist, I am wearing the Merca Ocean Master King Willard. Love it. Okay, so how are we going to compare this? So it's not going to be a lengthy comparison. Just show you the differences between the two, talk about prices, etc. I'll try to keep it as concise as possible. I mentioned in the review of the 1977 that it was a very basic dial, more or less the same as the 6105 Captain Willard homage, and in fact it is. That is down to, well, main thing being is SteelDive have tried to homage these watches as close as they can as possible to the original watches. Therefore, the 8000 and the 8110 came with the exact same dial. Yeah, as I said, more or less. But between the two dials, as you can see, they're exactly the same. Same amount of markers, chapter ring, etc. Same text on the dials. The same date frame. The only difference that you have on the right hand side on that 1970 is this is the PT5000 version, so the date numbers are slightly slimmer and not as wide as you see on the NH35 version. And the other sort of visual difference is that rehaut area. The 1977 has a brush rehaut area, whereas the Captain Willard came with this sort of plasticky looking chapter ring, which I think, again, a lot of people did appreciate that. I would actually like for them to use a brushed silver rehaut ring on this. That'd be quite good to look at. And of course, the main difference is the case. The case is a different shape. This is more of a oval cushion shape, very symmetrical, and this also has full circular brushing, but a very similar coin edge bezel to the SD1970. It's actually brushed around the edge and the sides, whereas this does have a polished lip, and of course the sides are sort of polished as well. But yeah, a few differences in terms of what you see on the case. This has a slightly larger crown, which sort of fits snugly into the case, whereas the Captain Willard has a slightly smaller crown, but the crown guards come out that much more, again giving it full protection, and that crown just really sits nice and snug in there. I would say the crown is just a touch smaller. It's not as easy to grip as it is on the 1977. Now the other difference, of course, is the size. So the diameter of the 1977 is 42 millimeters, and the 1970 comes in at 44 millimeters. Now with the 1970, because the type of case he uses, and going back to how Seiko designed the cases really well to fit a lot of smaller wrists, if you flip the watch over, the back of the watch is actually closer to around 40 millimeters. So on wrist it feels a little bit smaller, and just visually you can see the size of it because, as you can see, the case tapers outwards, and to me this is probably one of the most comfortable cases. But again, the comments from subscribers was they do prefer this case just a touch more, as the width of this case doesn't suit everybody's needs. The lug to lug on this is, I believe, around 47 millimeters, and the lug to lug on the 1977 is 48 millimeters, so 1 millimeter difference. Thickness is the same on both watches at around 13.5 millimeters. Both have 20 millimeter lug widths, and as you guys can clearly see, I've put both on tropical straps. Going back to what I said, I believe tropical or waffle straps are more natural on these watches, and I'll choose these straps over the bracelets on these any day of the week. Okay, now talking about bracelet, just to confirm something, I took off the bracelet for the 1970, and I can confirm the end links are designed a lot better. They have been made and sort of machined definitely a lot better than they used to be, and similar sort of for the 1977, much better made. Price wise, I mentioned this is around £95 or around $130-ish, and that's sort of a ballpark figure because some stores do sell these at $8 or $9 more than others, and this is for the NH35 version. Now the shocking thing for me when I do compare the two. If you look at the 1970, this is a PT5000 movement, which is a Chinese version of the ETA movements. This is coming in at £100, so still around $130-ish. And that is mind-blowing, incredible value for money. So hopefully this video helped guys who probably were a little bit confused and want to know the difference between the two before they make the purchase. If you want the slightly slimmer, more wrist-friendly watch, I'd say you can go for the 1977. It does look nice as well, a lot more symmetrical than this Captain Willard. But if you want the classic Apocalypse Now look, definitely go for the 1970 with the PT5000. Why not? It's a high beat movement, more of a premium movement as well, and upgrade to the NH35, because people are always saying they're getting bored of NH35 movements. So yeah, totally different, and have a high beat Willard in your collection. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you found this informative, and I will see you on the next video.